Good evening. Happy Sunday. Whoa. Apologies for coming in late. The network is very terrible. I had to get an alternative network to be able to start the class. So um, we'll be starting shortly. So yesterday we stopped at the issue of standards. We have laws and standards when it comes to um, cybersecurity. So, and these laws and standards, they differ from place to place, from location to location, especially from country to country. Each country has its own laws, though standards are more generic or general, they are more universal in the sense that many of the organizations that set up those standards, they operate universally. They are not restricted by country. So because they have a high standard, so it's not something that somebody can jettison and say, no, this standard, I can't work with it, because they are very, very high and they are the industry standards. So those standards are different from laws. So laws, of course, are put up by individual countries. So these countries decide, okay, they want to work with so law. Mr. Oyeyemi Akintoye, please mute your microphone.
You say what, sir?
Please mute your microphone. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. These laws, they are, of course, promulgated by the parliament or the um, House of Assembly or whatever in each country. So they differ from location to location. And for Nigeria, at least, though in this course they didn't mention the Nigerian what's it called, laws, but at least I'm aware of the Cybersecurity Act. Is it 2003? Not sure. It's Nigerian Cybersecurity Act. Then we have our data protection. Okay. We have Cyber Crimes Prohibition Prevention Act 2015. It was promulgated, it was signed into law in 2015. So we have that provides an effective, unified, and comprehensive legal, regulatory, and institutional framework for the prohibition, prevention, detection of cyber crimes. So, though I'm seeing, but it's mainly 2015 anyway. 2015. I'm not sharing my screen yet. Tony, I'm not sharing my screen yet. I'm not sharing it yet. I'm just trying to give a recap of what we where we stopped or what we talked about yesterday. So um all right, so I don't really, let me share my screen so that you can see. But I will talk about the standards that we have. I will talk about the standards that we have, then the laws. We don't really need that. You can research on that. So, for instance, before UK pulled out of European Union, it was working with this particular uh, GDPR. They have one GDPR, something about global data protection rights. Had to do with how companies handle personal data of people that sign up, and in that kind of environment, or that under that kind of law, there are some specific requirements for people that handle data. They have to ask consent. Then they cannot hold it forever. They have to delete it. They can't share it. So many things that are involved. So, but when they put out the now, when I mean, UK put out of EU, they now set up their own law, which has to do with I think I've forgotten the name of the law. It's data protection, but majorly the laws that we have now are uh, uh, aimed at against cyber crimes rather, then also for data protection. So, but this we'll start with the standard. Then now this payment card industry data security standard is a standard that must be adhered to by everyone that is processing payments, or any company or website that processes payment using cards, whether credit or debit cards. They have to adhere to a particular standard. So, and it's a proprietary information security standard for organizations that handle card holder information for major debit, credit, prepaid, e-POS, ATM, and POS cards. So, PCI DSS, payment card industry data security standard, applies to all entities involved in payment card in processing, including merchants, processors, acquirers, issuers, and service providers, as well as other entities that store, process, or transmit card holder data. So, PCI data security standard, high level overview, build and maintain a secure network, protect data, maintain a vulnerability management program, implement strong access control measures, regularly monitor and test networks, maintain an information security policy. So, failure to meet this requirement will result in fines or termination of payment card processing privileges. So, you have to adhere to this, and they are regularly being monitored and audited. So, because we don't want a situation whereby the details of card holders will get into the wrong hands. We don't want that. So, it's very, very key that a high standard in terms of information security be maintained. So you build and maintain a secure network, protect cardholder data, maintain vulnerability management program, implement strong access control measures, regularly monitor and test networks, maintain an information security policy. So in terms of building and maintaining a secure network, you should install and maintain a firewall configuration to protect cardholder data. Install and maintain a firewall configuration to protect cardholder data. So there must be a firewall configuration so that people are not just able to extract or exfiltrate data of cardholders, just like that. Then do not use vendor supplied default for system passwords and other security parameters. So every hardware or software, as it were, mostly hardwares anyway, come with default passwords, which are vendor supplied. So you are expected to change that. Then protect guard to that data, protect stored card to that data, encrypt transmission. So it has to be encrypted if the card to that data is being transmitted, move from one location to the other, or being exchanged. It has to be encrypted. It must not be sent in clear text. Maintain a vulnerability management program. Use and regularly update antivirus program or software. develop and maintain secure systems and applications. Then implement strong access control measure, restrict access to card other data by business need to know, assign a unique ID to each person. So every person with computer access has to have a unique ID so that we can be able to trace any issue that may come up to the person that was in charge or undo to that particular thing. So everybody must have a unique ID. Then you must restrict physical access to card holder data. Very physical security is very, very important. Regularly monitor and test network, track and monitor our access to network resources and card holder data. Regularly test security systems and processes. Then the last one, maintain an information security policy. Maintain a policy that addresses information security for all personnel. So very, very important. We have another standard, ISO stroke IEC 27001 2013. This specifies the requirements for establishing, implementing, maintaining, and continually improving all information security management system within the context of the organization. It is intended to be suitable for different types of use, including use within organizations to formulate security requirements and objectives. So this standard, you may just read that somebody said that they are now ISO 27001 compliant. So these are the things that are required of them if for them to be compliant. And when you see somebody that is compliant, it builds the reputation of that organization. It shows that they are serious about information security. So it shows that there are people that you should do business with because they will not allow any thing untoward to happen to maybe any information or data that you may exchange with them. So anybody that is serious about anybody that is serious about what's it called, about securing data, securing PIIs, personal identifiable information, who are there to this. So if you are serious with doing business, especially some international organization, if you do not have this in place, they will never do business with you. So this organization have to, so the PCI DSS has to do with people that are in payment card industry. So but this one is general. So use within organizations to formulate security requirements and objectives. Use within organizations to ensure that security risks are cost effectively managed. Use within organizations to ensure compliance with laws and regulations. Definition of new information security management processes. Identification and clarification of existing information security management processes. Used by organization management to determine the status of information security management activities. Implementation of business enabling information security. Used by organizations to provide relevant information about information security too. So this is standard. This is how you should operate. These are the requirements. It's like a sort of law that someone must adhere to. These are the requirements or regulations, not a law, like a regulation that you must adhere to if you are to be ISO 27001 certified or compliant. So, so there are like regulations. Then we have the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. This is, I think it's a USA Act that deals with the confidentiality and the safety of patient information. Because unlike here in Nigeria, where much of our patient information, patient data is still on cards or files. So when you get to the hospital, they'll say, "Hello, your card. Hello, your card." It is well. They are no longer doing that. Even in many hospitals in Nigeria, they don't do that again. So every information is now stored in computers. So, and this everything, it contains patient personal information about their health history, the tests they have done, the drugs they have taken, and nobody wants his secret about his health status to be all over everywhere. You understand? So uh, is very, very important. That's Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. Helps to protect, uh, requires every provider who does business electronically to use the same healthcare transactions, code sets, and identifiers. So provide privacy rule. It provides federal protection for personal health information held by covered entities and gives patients an array of rights with respect to that information. You know that in like this is especially for US. So and one thing is that in this particular scenario, one must they have different health insurance organizations, and these health insurance organizations, uh, one way or the other, they have to uh, uh, exchange information of patients from one health organization to the other. You understand? So in so doing, a lot of in so doing, a lot of times they have to pass this information because it may be required by another health management organization or health insurance organization. So it has to be passed. The information has to be passed and uh, from. So, but they must make sure that this, the way they pass this information, it doesn't compromise the data of the patient. So the patient's data must be kept to be secure and not something that will be seen all over the internet. So that's a privacy rule. Then security rule specifies series of administrative, physical, and technical safeguards for covered entities to use to ensure confidentiality, integrity, availability of electronically protected health information. National identifier requirement requires that healthcare providers, health plans, and employers have standard national numbers that identify them attached to standard transactions. So enforcement will provide the standards for enforcing all the administration simplification uh, rules. Other, let me not really bore you with this. There are other ones. Digital Millennium Copyright has to do with intellectual property, devise legal prohibition against the circumvention of technological protection measures employed by copyright owners to protect their works and against the removal of alteration of copyright management information. So this particular act, it's something that has to do with copyright, just like what we have in you see Nigerian movies, they are released, and before you know it, they're all over the internet. So it's something that it should be put in place to fight again. I think we have something like that in Nigeria, but I don't know how effective it is. I don't know how effective it is. So it's to protect the copyright of and intellectual property. The Federal Information Security Management Act, ensuring the effectiveness of information security controls over information resources that support federal operations and assets. Include standards for categorizing information and information system by mission impact, standards for minimum security requirement for information system, guidance for selecting appropriate security controls for information system, guidance for assessing security controls in information systems, and guidance for security authorization of information systems. So this is the one I was talking about, General Data Protection Regulation. So it was put in effect 2018 May 25. One of the most stringent privacy and security laws globally is an EU regulation. It's the GDPR, General Data Protection Regulation, will levy harsh fines against those who violate its privacy and security standard with penalties reaching tens of millions of euros. They have done it against Google and other giants in the tech industry. So the principles include lawfulness, fairness, and transparency. Processing must be lawful, fair, and transparent to the data subject. Purpose limitation. You must process data for the legitimate purposes specified explicitly to the data subject when you collected it. Data minimization. You should collect and process only as much data as necessary for the purposes specified. Accuracy. You must keep personal data accurate and up to date. Storage limitation. You may only store personally identified data for as long as necessary. That's what I'm saying. You must not keep it longer. I know there are so many places where I've provided my data and they have to start sending me message that should they continue keeping it. That's part of the regulation of general data protection regulation. That should they continue keeping it or should they delete it? So, and they said they should keep keeping it. So, integrity and confidentiality processing must be done in such a way as to ensure appropriate security, integrity, and confidentiality by using encryption. Accountability: the data controller is responsible for demonstrating GDPR compliance with all these principles. So, there must be accountability and integrity and confidentiality, storage limitation, accuracy, data minimization, collect only data that is necessary. You must process data for legitimate purposes, specify explicitly to the data subject when you collected the lawfulness, fairness, and transparency. Processing must be lawful, fair, and transparent to the data subjects. There are other law, and then UK now put up their own, which is a Data Protection Act uh, for the UK. It updates and replaces data 1998 and came into effect in 25th May 2018. So it's for basically for the UK and so what they are doing. So we have different cyber laws in different countries. Different cyber laws in different countries. US has so many. They didn't list Nigeria yet. But Nigeria, at least, we have the Cyber Crime Act 2015, then the Data Protection Act. But I think I can't remember the year anyway. I can't remember the year. So that moves us to the second module. So for this module, what we are looking at is we want to look at footprinting. Remember yesterday we talked about the hacking methodology, CEH hacking methodology. This CEH hacking methodology, the number one step there is footprinting. Footprinting. Then the number two step, scanning. Number three step, enumeration. Number four, vulnerability assessment before you go into gaining access, maintaining access, clearing logs, and all that. So now I want to dwell in this particular module. Want to dwell on footprinting. Footprinting. So it's just majorly footprinting. When you hear footprinting and reconnaissance, is the same thing. Footprinting and reconnaissance is the same thing. Through footprinting, one can gather maximum information about a computer system or network about any device connected to that network. In other words, footprinting provides a security proper blueprint for an organization that should be undertaken in a methodological manner. So it's just basically gathering information. So let's dig deep into that. So what is footprinting? You want to ask, what is footprinting? Is the first step in any attack on information systems in which an attacker collects information about a target network to identify various ways to intrude into the system. Is the first step of any attack on information systems in which an attacker collects information about a target network to identify various ways to intrude into the system. So the end game of footprinting is that we want to know how can we penetrate, how can we breach this system, how can we attack it? You understand? So that's the end game. So we're gathering information, collect information about the target network to identify various ways to intrude into the system. So there are two types of footprinting. We have passive footprinting, we have active footprinting. So passive footprinting, you gather information without direct interaction with the target. In active footprinting, you gather information with direct interaction. Direct interaction. So when you talk about passive footprinting, you may be just maybe searching online, going through news releases, what you can find on social media, search engines and all that. So with that, you are not really in direct interaction. You are just looking at publicly available information, publicly available data on that particular target that you have. So I I think one thing I believe that you're already putting on your thinking caps as we are going into this. I want to believe that you have an understanding of the concepts we have been talking about so that already you can start looking at having an understanding of the approach that we are putting in place even as a in this course. So like all the we did yesterday was just to provide the background information and have us have an understanding backstory about information security and all that. So but what we are now going at least little say we are taking it little by little, and moving along. So uh, now, if you have a target in mind that you want to breach a particular target, you need to gather information first. You cannot just go and start attacking. That attack will fail. It will flop. What you need to do is to first gather as much information as possible on that target. So once you gather enough information on the target, then you'll be able to know, okay, this is how I will see. You see, like all these people that are, okay, let's take for instance, um, I think late last year, there was a robbery on Ikere Ekiti. And what happened in that place was that as the robbers came, it was obvious that they knew, I mean, the nooks and crannies, and that's why people were saying that these people are from Ikere because they knew where to go, they knew how to disappear and all that, where they could pass in order to leave the scene and all that. So now, when you look at that, you see that that's not the first time they would have come to that place. Those armed robbers, that would not be their first time. They would have been to that place before to go around to get information, to search, to do a lot of background, to do their reconnaissance. So in essence, that's the same thing. You cannot just go like somebody was saying yesterday. When are we doing practical? You don't just do practical like that. You know, or else you will fail. You have to gather information about your target, have an understanding so that you'll be able to know how to approach your attack. So, but if you're in active footprinting, uh, the target may recognize the ongoing information gathering process as we overtly interact with the target network. For the passive, there's no way the target will know because there's no direct interaction. But the active is possible you will know because there are some things you'll be doing that may leave traces or alert the target organization. So, what are the information that we obtain in footprinting? Excuse me. Organization information, we can obtain employee details, telephone numbers, branch and location details, background of the organization, web technologies, news articles, press releases, and related documents. We can also obtain network information, domain and subdomains, network blocks, network topology, trusted routers and firewalls, IP addresses of reachable systems, WIS record, DNS record, then system information, web server, operating system, location of web servers, publicly available email addresses, username and passwords. So a second, I'll be right back. So when you are gathering information in footprinting, there are things you should look out for, or do some things that the attacker looks out for. He wants to know about the organization. He wants to know about the employees in the organization. He wants to get their details of the employees. So that could be useful in social engineering. We'll still be talking about social engineering in some maybe weeks or so. Okay. Bishop David, hello, sir. I have a question. All these terms, DNS and stuff, would you explain to us, sir? Okay, we may not have time to explain all those things. But what I will do is that I will see if we can drop a networking material in the group so that you can try and read up. But I will explain, sir, but not into details. So I will explain somehow I will explain. But for you to have I mean, deeper understanding, you may need to read up. Okay, where am I? Okay, so telephone numbers, very these particular details, organization information can help the attacker when he wants to perform social engineering. When he wants to perform social engineering, so all right, so now we have branch and location details, background organization, then web technologies. Web technologies. The reason why this is important is that if an organization is using a web technology, that is what we will find the vulnerability, find out information about the vulnerabilities that such web technologies have. That is a pathway for the attacker to attack. Because if he knows the web technology, for instance, if they are using Windows, we will not disturb ourselves about the vulnerabilities that exist online, so we'll focus on Windows and we'll exploit it. Then news articles, press releases, and related documents, then domains and subdomains. When we talk about domain, for instance, CNN.com is a domain. What's it called? Uh, sport.cnn.com is a subdomain. So network blocks refer to the IP address that is given to that organization to use. Network topology looks, that's how the arrangement and the of their routers, their switches and devices on the network. That's the network topology. The IP address of the reachable system. Then who is records? Who is record is when you are registering a website, there's some information you provide, and those information are very, very important for the attacker. So we can use it to do social engineering, use it to do so many things. Then DNS records. Now, when you talk about DNS now, which is domain name system, DNS refers to the system that is used to resolve resolve domain names into IP addresses. Now, IP addresses is like a numerical, what should I call it? Numerical address. We call it logical address. And this address, for instance, you can see an address like 19 or 10.10.10.1. That's an IP address. Now, human beings cannot store IP addresses. Even, for instance, can you see what is happening with our telephone numbers? These telephone numbers, we can't store telephone numbers of it. How many, as you are now, how many phone numbers of your contact do you know often that if you want to call them, you don't have to go and search your contact, you just type it? Yeah, there will be few. You understand? So that's why you store them with names. With names are easy for human beings to remember. So, but computers communicate in binary 1 and 0, which is what is the background or the basis for IP address. So, DNS resolves domain names, which are, for instance, CNN.com. It will resolve it to IP address. So that is the information that the computer will use to try to identify and pull up that CNN.com page. It won't use CNN.com. Immediately you enter CNN.com, it goes directly to the DNS server to try and fetch the IP address because computers communicate in numbers. Then system information, web server, operating system, very, very key. Different web servers, whether it be Apache, whether it be Windows IIS, and Internet Information Service. So they have their different vulnerabilities and loopholes. Location of web servers, where are they located? Publicly available email addresses, then username and passwords. So footprinting methodology. We had footprinting techniques. We have different footprinting. Remember, footprinting, don't be carried away with the big word. It's just gathering of information. If you see reconnaissance, it's also the same thing. We are talking about footprinting. So now, okay. Now look at this. We have footprinting techniques. We have footprinting through search engines. You can do your information gathering through uh, search engines, through Google and all that. You can do your footprinting through uh, web services, going to the website, footprinting through social networking sites, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, then website footprinting. Uh, you can do your footprinting, gather information through the target's website, email footprinting. You can get uh, information through the email. You want to know who is receiving the email, their server, their was the MX mail server. Then who is footprinting? You want to get information about their who is DNS footprinting, network footprinting, then footprinting through social engineering. So for footprinting through search engines, we have what we call advanced Google hacking techniques. There's normal using our search engine. You can search for something, you will not find it. But if you use advanced Google search engines, so you search uh, docs, you will get it. So because Google indexes all the pages over the internet, whether they are secret or they are obvious or they are public pages or private pages, Google has indexed every one of them. So with that, with the powerful search engine of Google, we can reach out to different pages all over the internet. So far, it is on the internet. Then Google hacking database and Google Advanced Search, video meta, for FTP, File Transfer Protocol, and Internet of Things search engines. Then footprinting through web services. People search services who can, through web service, you can do people search. Though this thing doesn't really, it works. I want to warn us that some of these scenarios will be painting here are more relevant to advanced countries, especially the US. Because actually this courseware is more of a US driven courseware. So some things you may not be able to imagine with what we have here. Just put on your imagination, put out your thinking cap. So financial services and job sites, deep and dark web. There's an underworld, as it were, in internet that is not obvious to all, and you don't browse that underworld with normal what's it called? You don't browse that underworld with normal browsers. We have what we call Tor browser. That Tor allows us uh, to go on to the underworld. So in that particular underworld, you can, those are places where people buy and sell credit card details, stolen credit card details, and other information that hackers may have got. That's where they hire computers to be able to perpetrate evil or do carry out malicious activities. Okay. Then competitive intelligence, business monitor alerts and online reputation, groups, forums, blogs, public source code repositories. Then filtering through social networking sites, social engineering, social media sites, analyzing social network graphs. Social engineering, we'll talk more about social engineering. That's module 9. We're still in module 2. We'll talk about it. It's a very interesting topic. Then social media sites. We can do a lot of finding and searching through social media sites. Then website footprinting, the website of the target organization. You can do what we call web spidering and website mirroring. You can, every website has a lot of hidden information. We have what we call web spiders that can help you to fetch all the information, the meta links and everything that can help you to get some hidden information. Then you can even mirror the website. How do you mirror the website? You copy it. You can copy that website. We have what we call website copiers. Website copiers. So that website copiers, you can copy entire websites onto your local host or your computer and now scan through it by manually. In case you don't want to scan through it online, you can mirror it. Then we have what we call internet archive. There are some web pages that have been taken off the internet, but there's this website, we call it Wayback Machine Internet Archive. It has a storage of almost all websites that you can think of. Any website you can think of. If you want to go back to maybe 20 years ago, I don't know, but I think if you have something 20 years ago, you will see the way the website looked at that time. And attackers need this information because they want to uh, gather some things. There may have been updates. There may have been updates on those websites and some information that the owners of the website don't want people to have access to. They would have removed it. So, but with that internet archive, you can get those information back. You can get it. Then extract links, word links, and metadata, monitor web page updates and website traffic. Then DNS footprinting, email footprinting, track email communication, analyze email that you want to know. You send an email to a particular person within the target network. You want to know the trail. Where did that email get to before getting to the person? And you want to know the IP address of the recipient, all manner of information. Who is footprinting? Who is lookup? IP geolocation lookup. Who is lookup? IP geolocation lookup. Then DNS footprinting, DNS integration, reverse DNS lookup, network footprinting, locate network range, then trace route. So we want to look at the network range. How many IP addresses do they have or are located to them? Then trace route. Trace route allows us to be able to trace how, for instance, from here now, if I want to access CNN.com, how many ops do I have to pass through? How many routers, how many switches will my data pass through before it gets to me? So because you think that many may imagine that when you enter CNN.com, it just goes to CNN. No, some are 13 ops, some are 30 ops. You understand? Before it gets to the destination and fetches you the information you need. Then finally, for 22 social engineering, it's dropping. We talked about it's dropping yesterday. Then shoulder surfing, don't start diving, impersonation. We want to talk about search engines. We have different search engines that attackers use. You can search if you have a particular organization or targets. You can search generally to know what is publicly available information concerning that person. So we have attackers use attackers use search engines to extract information about a target, such as employed technology platforms, employee details, login pages, intranet portals, which help the attacker to perform social engineering and other types of advanced system attacks. So major search engines: Google, Bing, Yahoo, Ask, AOL, Baidu, DuckDuckGo. Search engines can also be used to find other sources of publicly accessible information resources. E.g., you can type top job portals to find major job portals that provide critical information about the target organization. So what this means is that many organizations, uh, when they are advertising vacancies within their organization, they give out so much information that attackers use. For instance, you say that you are looking for a person that can that has knowledge about what's the word? Okay, he's good at he can operate Windows Server, he can do this one, he has knowledge about Cisco switches. So with that, the attacker will know that that's what they are using in your organization. So he will tailor his search towards that direction. He will not waste his time. He has found out, very important details. So Google hacking refers to the use of advanced Google search operators for calculating complex search queries to extract sensitive or hidden information that helps attackers find vulnerable targets. So we have different search operators. So these search operators, you can use them to find some hidden information on the internet about your target organization. So we have cache. Cache displays web pages stored in a Google cache. Link lists web pages that have links to the specified web page. Related list web pages that are related. Info presents some information about that Google has about a particular web page. Site restrict result to those websites in the given domain. All entitled. When you talk about all entitled, that means anything that follows. That means these words must be the title of a web page. All entitled. So if like I type cybersecurity Google hacking, that means I'm looking for web pages that the title carries cybersecurity Google hacking. Then in title, you see the result of document containing the search keyword in the title. So the word you put, it must be in the title of that page, all in URL. The word you put must be in the URL. When you're talking about URL, you're talking about the domain name. For instance, that's URL is universal resource locator. Um, so CNN.com is a URL that leads to CNN website. In URL, receive the result to document contains search keyword in URL. Location finds information for a specific location. So let me see. Okay. So this is an example. This is an example of a search we are carrying out with what's it called? Google Docs or Google Advanced or Google Hacking, what we call Google Hacking. So look at this now. In title, that means what we are looking for, this intranet must be a title of the web page. Look for any web page that has the title intranet. Then also web pages that have within their URL intranet. Then you look for web pages that within the body of the web pages, that's what we say in text, you have human resources. So, and it will bring out all these results. So, let me see. There's something I wanted to check. Hmm. Okay, I'm trying to find. I think I want to check. So I want to try and show us this one. This link operator searches website or pages that contain links to the specified website or page. So let's see. Mm, okay. Um, Let me share my screen. Sorry. So I'm trying to search for pages that this link operator is I'm asking for pages that are linked to inec.org. Pages that are linked to inec.org, and it gives me different results for different pages that are linked to inec.org. Okay, it's even INEC Nigeria. Okay, let me use INEC Nigeria. INEC Nigeria. So pages that are linked, INEC portal, INEC voters online portal, registration status, continuous voter registration portal, INEC voter online portal, INEC IREV. So any link page that are linked to that this thing I indicated. So if you are interested in a particular target, you can always search for this. So it will show you different pages that are linked to that. Then let's look at this now. If you want to search for, let's say in title, in title, uh, intranet, in URL, intranet, plus in text, So it will give us different web pages. Um, Look at this one now. Human resources intranet. So intranet is supposed to be something that only staff. Look at this one now. Look at it. Intranet, staff only. You can see this particular search. This particular search is also here. Look at this. This particular, you can see it. Intranet, staff only, environment, health and safety. You see it here. Internet, staff only, environment, health and safety. So if like for instance, this attacker is looking for, intranet is different from internet. Intranet is an internal internet of an organization that they use to run the affairs of the organization. It's not meant for outsiders. So this particular attacker wants to get human resources pages that are that are intranet of an organization. So you can see like this company now, Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory, uh, Internet for HR employees, Minneapolis College of Art and Design. These their human resources, intranet, employee intranet access, Glenpool, okay, HR Porter, United Nations, Southern Illinois University Doseville, and so on and so forth. So the attacker can find out as much information and see if maybe that particular target is looking for, if it comes up on that listen. So the essence of this Google hacking is to restrict your results so that the attacker doesn't waste his time going over irrelevant information. He wants to get a targeted information and relevant information. So the Google hacking database is an authoritative source for querying the ever-widening reach of the Google search engine. Attackers use Google Docs and Google Advanced Search Operators to extract sensitive information about their target, such as vulnerable servers, error messages, sensitive files, login pages, and websites. So, uh, we have this particular website, which is exploit-db.com. This website contains different exploits. You remember, in order for an attacker to be able to take advantage of a vulnerability, remember vulnerability is a weak point, is the weak point of a target. In order for it to be able to take advantage of that vulnerability, it needs an exploit. It needs an exploit. And this website has different, all different manner and types of uh, what's it called, exploits that can be used to take advantage of different vulnerabilities. So you may just take note of that and exploit later. Exploit-db. You can write it down and exploit later. So it contains different footnotes, files containing usernames, sensitive directories, web server detection, vulnerable files, vulnerable servers, error messages, files containing juicy info, files containing passwords, sensitive online shopping info, network of vulnerability data, pages containing login portals, various online devices, advisories, and vulnerabilities. So attackers can also use search exploit, which is a command line search tool for exploit for DB that allows taking a copy of the exploit database for remote use. It allows attackers to perform detailed offline searches through their locally checked out copy of the repository. This capability is particularly useful for security assessments of segregated or air-gapped networks without internet access. Adumbi Moyolua, please drop your question in the chat box. Thank you. Mm. So apart from these Google Docs or advanced search operators, you can use, um, if that looks too complicated for you, you can use Google Advanced Search, and that can be found in google.com/advanced_search. So google.com/advanced_search. There, you'll be able to find, you'll be able to access the things you wanted to access using Google Advanced Search. So, sorry, just a minute. Okay, so like I was saying, you could go to, if you feel that this uh uh the ones we talk about, the link and all those things are too complicated, you could decide to use google.com um /advanced search. So it will basically give you almost the same what's it called, results, like um the Google Docs that we talked about. It will give you almost the same results. Okay. Then also you can search for images using. Then you can search to know where an image originated from. You can decide that you want to know where an image originated from. Uh, you can search for a particular image using this google.com/imghp. So with this particular website, you can search and know where an image originated. Who first used that image on the data? That's reverse image search using Google. So all you need to do is to paste the image URL or upload the image. Once you do that, um, you will see who first pasted that image on the internet. Then you can search through YouTube. Like for instance, this screenshot showing us Microsoft, searching for things about Microsoft on YouTube. Then you can also go through some search engines. There are some alternate search engines. We are so used to Google, but there are some others like startpage.com. Startpage.com is also a very good, it's a meta search engine. Search engines to produce their own results from the internet in a very short time span. These search engines do not have their own search engine. Instead, they take the inputs from the user and simultaneously send out queries to third-party search engines to obtain results. Once sufficient results are gathered, they are ranked according to their relevance and presented to the user through the web interface. Meta search engines also include functionality whereby identical search results are filtered out so that if the user searches the same query again, then it will not display the same results twice. So that's a meta search engine start page. Then you can also search for different FTP servers. FTP servers on the internet, most of the files are stored on FTP servers. So you can search for FTP servers. FTP search engines are used to search for information regarding the target organization. So many industry institutions and universities use FTP servers to store large file archives and other software shared among the employees. So a special client such as FileZilla can be used to access FTP accounts. It also supports functionalities such as uploading, downloading, and renaming files. So although FTP servers are protected with passwords, many servers are left unsecured and can be accessed directly through web browsers. So you can use search engines such as Napalm FTP Indexer, Freeware Web FTP File Search, and globalfilesearch.com. Attackers search for critical files and directories containing valuable information such as business strategies, tax documents, personal employee records, financial records, license software, and other confidential information. This NAPAM FTP indexer, you can access it to search ftps.net. This search here is for Microsoft. So we're looking for every file that has to do with Microsoft that's stored on the FTP server. I'm not just searching on ordinary servers. We can also gather information from Internet of Things search engines using Shodan. Website shodan.io. You can search for Internet of Things devices. Internet of Things devices. Let me show us. I think it's here somewhere. Shodan. Okay, here we are. So you can search for different, like SCADA is a form of that supervisory control and data administration. It's a form of it's Internet of Things because you use it to control industries. We'll still be with the Internet of Things toward the end of this course. That's still many weeks away. So we are searching for SCADA devices all over the world. So we have different ones. Let me look for an interesting one here. SCADA device I've been able to sort of log into it. As it were not logged in anyway, but at least I'm getting the interface of the SCADA device. The Schneider Electric is asking for sign trends. Okay, I don't want to breach it, so I just wanted to demonstrate what this showdown can do. Okay, it wants me to create an account. Okay, let's just continue. So we have different SCADA device Internet of printing through web servers. You want to go to a web server, you want to find out about an organization. I hope we're following the trend. The trend is that the first one we did was to do Google hacking. That's what I'm doing. It's just through search engines. We talked about meta search engines. We talked about searching for videos. We talked about searching for images. We talked about searching for IoT devices. You understand? So all in all, we're gathering information. Remember, this particular segment or module we're in is to gather as much information about the target as possible. So finding a company's top level domains, and remember I told you about the domains and subdomains. So search for company's external URL in the search engine such as Google and Bing. Subdomains provide an insight to different departments. So you have different departments and organization in an organization, different units. And one of the ways to know those different units is through the use of through searching for their subdomains. So for instance, you can see this screenshot here. Microsoft has different departments like careers, .NET, support, Visual Studio. So it gives the attacker an idea of different departments and units that are within the organization. Let's try and do this search and see what it comes up with. Uh, okay, maybe I should do. So with this, I'll be able to find out the different subdomains. You can see it's telling me about the different subdomains that are under Microsoft: Visual Studio, MSDN, support, developer, to do, account, learn, so many other, Power BI, adoption, my account, and so on and so forth, and so on and so forth. So, yeah. So the other methods to also get subdomains. Let me see. There's a two. Is this it? No. Where's that? Okay, pen test platform tools. Pen test. There's a tool that you can use. Oh, I'm still okay. I think my screen is still being shared. Still sharing my screen. Okay. Okay. Reconnaissance. Screen. Yeah. Subdomain finder. Okay. So I want to find out what are the subdomains. This one is more detailed uh, and less confusing when you compare it to what the results that this one will be. Okay, you can see science subdomains. Let's just go on while it does all that. So this is the tool we are using present pen test iPhone tools.com. Then we can do people search if you have some particular people you are interested in on social networking sites. You want to gather information about them. People search on social networking sites and people search services. Social networking sites such as Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn provide useful information about the individual. Let me see. Are you true? Oh, yes. So you can see all the subdomains, all the different subdomains. It's still scanning. Microsoft PO, so many, so many, so many subdomains. So this one is more. So this gives the attacker an idea of the different departments and units that are within the organization. So this like Titan BYOD.microsoft.com. That's a subdomain. Then Microsoft.com is the top level domain. Top level domain. So you can search on Facebook, on Twitter, on Spokio. If you have specific people in mind, you can also gather information from LinkedIn using the Avesta tool to perform enumeration on LinkedIn and find employees of target company along with their job titles. So the Avesta is a tool designed to be used in the early stages of penetration testing, used for open source intelligence gathering to determine a company's external threat landscape. Attackers use this tool to perform enumeration on the LinkedIn social networking site to find the employees of the target company along with their job titles. They use the following command to enumerate users: Avesta, Microsoft, L200B, LinkedIn. So with this command, it specifies the domain, the company name to search. L specifies the number of results to be retrieved. This L, that's number of results, 200, domain, Microsoft, then B, the data source. So it moves to LinkedIn, pulls off employee details that's 200 in number and gives to you. So look at the screenshot. Different people with their titles. You can also harvest email lists. Harvest email lists from Baidu. In the above command, this specified domain used for the harvesting the emails. L, the results will be limited to 200, and B tells the harvester to extract the result from Baidu's search engine. Alternatively, you can use Google or Bing. Instead of this Baidu, you can say Google or Bing. So it will look at that place and harvest emails from that are using this domain. It was affect emails. So you can get this to edge-security.com, but it's to be run on Linux. But it's on the Parrot terminal, and I say, what's it called? Your Parrot. And I mean, um, and install it as a virtual machine on your system. So you can see the results. The only one email was found, Gloria C at Microsoft.com. Gloria C. You can also do footprinting through job sites. Like I said, look at this job. Yes, description. Now they're asking that they want Citrix, Netscaler Gateway, storefront, Zen app is required. So with that, the attacker knows that they are using Windows Server operating system. They are using VMware. They are using Exchange 2016. So they have given out too much information through this job search. They have given out too much information through this job search. Deep and dark web footprinting. Talk about deep and dark web. You use Tor browser. Tor browser. You can get that through torproject.org. TOR project.org. It is used to access the deep and dark web, where it acts as a default VPN for the user and bounces the network IP address through several servers before that. So the deep web is web pages and content that are hidden and unindexed and cannot be located using traditional web browsers and search engines. It can be accessed by search engines like Tor browser and the www virtual library. Then dark web or darknet. Is a subset of the deep web that enables anyone to navigate anonymously without being traced. It can be accessed by browsers such as Tor browser, Freenet, GNU-net, I2P, and LittleShare. So attackers use deep and dark web search tools such as Tor browser as an orator to gather confidential information about the target, including credit card details. Remember, I told you can get credit card details, passport information, ID card details, medical records, social media accounts, social security numbers, etc. So look at, and like, this is a screenshot of the search somebody is making. Hacker for hire. Hacker for hire. Then also you can use Shodan. Shodan is a very powerful tool. Shodan.io and Sensis.io. You can use it to so it lets you find connected devices, routers, servers, internet of things devices using a variety of filters. So if you have a particular website, you want to know the operating system that is running on that particular website, you can use shodan.io. Let me see. Sitereport.netcraft.com. So want to find out what operating system is running on the target website. Let's say we want to target INEC Nigeria. But I think it's ORG. Independent National Electoral Commission. Date first in May 2003 was when it was first registered. INECNigeria.org. NetBlock owner Amazon Technologies. Name server, domain registrar. Hosting country. That should be, what map is this one? Okay. US. All right. So look at the IP addresses that it has and the operating system for the web server. Then not the web server, should I say the operating system, but there's another, we'll call it web server operating system. The operating system, original operating system for the this thing. But let's see if I can get some. For instance, this one is saying unknown. Let's see if we can get the operating system for this one that is unknown on, or let me use this census. Okay. So I want to check for the operating system. So it has given me the operating system, Linux, CentOS, Linux. So you can use, and it has even told us where it is registered to, Dublin, Leicester, and all that. So the software, CentOS, Linux, and the ports that are open on that particular uh, website, 80 and 443. So 80 is for internet, but it's not as secure as 443. 443 is encrypted. So majorly he's using almost the same web server, Apache, CentOS, and all that. So I hope you are taking notes of the website we are visiting so that you can also explore it after the class. Sitereport.netcraft.com. I do hope maybe by the time you are going through the recordings, you'll be able to have this so and check through. Okay, so attackers can also do gather information, competitive intelligence gathering. The process of identifying, gathering, analyzing, verifying, and using information about your competitors from resources such as the internet. So competitive intelligence is non-interfering and subtle. So you are not really interacting directly with this. You are just gathering information from publicly accessible sources. So it's not really interacting directly with uh, uh, the target. So sources of competitive intelligence include company websites and employment ads, search engines, internet and online database, press releases and annual reports, trade journals, conferences and newspapers, patents and trademarks, social engineering, employees, product catalogs, and retail outlets, analysts and regulatory reports, customer and vendor interviews, agents, distributors, and suppliers. So some information we want to get about the company. When did this company begin? How did it develop? What are the company's plans? What expert opinions say about the company? Those are things we want to understand. All right. So other things we want to do under footprint, we want to find out the geographical location of the target. We can do that using Google Map. Google Map, s.google.com. So let's. I don't know where we can search for. This one will take time to load. While it is loading, so why is this important? They find the exact location of a target. Attackers use this to find the location of the target. Using this, attackers can even access 3D images that depict most of the populated Earth's surface with high resolution. It allows attackers to obtain street views, altitude information, and even coordinates. So if at all, maybe they even want to visit the place physically, it will they will be able to know the place and how to access it. You understand? Then you can also set up, if you are interested in knowing about a particular organization, what is happening, the updates. You can automatically, Google Alerts automatically notify users when new content from news, website, blogs, videos, and discussion groups matches a set of search terms selected by the user and stored by the Google Alert service. So if you want maybe for Microsoft, you can set an alert so that anything new that comes about Microsoft, you'll be alerted. So it doesn't have to be Microsoft, it can be any organization of your interests, any organization that interests you. Attackers can also, let me see if our ah, this one, Jerry. I think it's not responding. Uh, it's, it's not responding. No. But you can search, I mean, you can examine it yourself, search for any place that you're familiar with. Let's quickly move along. So we have other things. Attackers use social engineering tricks. Now, social engineering is just manipulating people to give out information. For instance, this issue of Google hacking. I mean, sorry, WhatsApp hijacking is basically social engineering, because when somebody calls you, start telling you, you are a part of this group. There's a meeting that is coming up. We're sending a code to you. Please give us that code. So social engineering relies on the fact that people that are being asked for an information don't know the value of that information. So because they don't know the value of that information, they are willing to part with that information. And that's where they get into trouble. So attackers create a fake profile and they use false identity to lure employees into revealing their sensitive information. Attackers collect information about the employees' interests and trick them into revealing more information. So, what are the things that users do, and can attackers get even from what users do? If you maintain a profile on social networking sites, attackers can get your contact info and location. So, be careful the way you post or you do things on social networking sites. It could cause a lot of issues for you. Then maintain profile, contact info, get your contact info and location. Connect to friends, chat. They could use that to get your friend list and friends info. Share photos and videos. They can use that to get the identity of your family members, interests, etc. Play games, join groups. They can use it to ascertain your interests. Create events. They can use it to know your activities. Then organizations that are on social networking sites, if they put out user survey, the attacker will be able to know their business strategy. If they promote products, the attacker will be able to know their product profile. If they provide user support, they can use it to do social engineering. If they recruit, they can use to know their platform or technology. If they do background check to hire employees, it will know their type of business. So we have things we can use to locate information on social media. Bozumo, BUZZUMO.com. You can use it to locate information. Advanced social engineer, social search engine finds the most shared content for a topic, author, or a domain. So they can use Bozumo to find that it's an advanced social search engine. It finds the most shared content for a topic, uh, author, or a domain. Bozumo. It will search all the search engines that you have. So I don't think it's paid. I tried to access it the last time. I couldn't get it. I think it's a paid. It's not free. You can also use follower wonk. Helps to explore and grows one social graph by digging deeper into Twitter analysis or analytics. Uh, Sherlock tool. This tool is used to search a vast number of social networking sites for a target username. So if you have a target username, you can use that tool to search and pull out the target username. I'll give you a bigger screenshot shortly. The social searcher allows you to search for content in social networks in real time and provides deep analytics data. So this is Sherlock. Attackers use it to search for a particular username. So one of the countermeasures we have against this kind of attack is that number one, do not use if you want to stay off the radar of attackers, you can use pseudonym, that's false name, as your or use something that is not related to your name as your username on social networking site. Because, like for instance, this search they are performing, they have this particular person's name, they just combine it together, Satya Nadella, and they search, and that person use this particular username for all these social networking sites, and they're able to pull it out. Then social searcher, Bill Gates, you're able to find out all the places he's on, all the websites, all the social networking sites he's on, it will pull it out. Then we'll move quickly to website footprinting. Website footprinting is monitor analysis of the target organization's website for information. You want to find out information about the target organization using their, what's it called, the website. So for information you can get from there include the software that was used and the version, the operating system used and the scripting platform, subdirectories and parameters, file name path, database field name or query, the technology that was used, the contact, and also the CMS detail. When we talk about CMS details, we are talking about content management system. We are talking about websites that you don't need to build from the scratch. All you just need to do is just to install and edit it. Something like WordPress and Joomla. So attackers use Bob Suits, Zaprosi, Wapalizer, Central Hubs, Website Informer to view headers that provide the following information: connection status and content type, accept ranges and last modified, expired by information, web server in use, and its version. So website footprinting, you can examine the source code of a website. When you visit a website, like for instance, let me see a particular website. Okay, this particular website now, I just right click on it and say view page source. So it will give me the HTML version of that particular web page. It's loading. So it will give me the HTML version of this particular web page, and I can examine it closely to get some more information about the website. It's still loading, but also websites provide cookies. The examining cookies may provide software in use and its behavior, scripting platform used. Examining cookies may provide software in use and its behavior, scripting platform that is used. So browsing the target website can provide the following information: software used and its version. Attacker can easily find the software and version in use on and off-the-shelf software-based websites. Operating system use. Usually the operating system in use can also be determined. Subdirectories and parameters. Searches can review the subdirectory and parameters by making note of the URLs while browsing the target website. Then file name, path, database, field name, or query. The attacker will often carefully analyze anything after a query that looks like a file name, path, database, field name, or query to check whether it offers opportunities for SQL injection. Scripting platform with the help of a script file name extension such as .php, .asp, or .gsp, one can easily determine the scripting platform that the target website is using. Technology use. By inspecting the URL of the target website, one can easily determine technologies. Contact details. The contact page usually offer details such as name, phone numbers, email address, and location of admin or support personnel. Or in the network. Let me try another website. Okay, this is what I was talking about. Just view page source. It will show the HTML. Attackers can obtain sensitive information by examining the HTML source code and following comments that are inserted manually or those that the CMS system creates. The comments may provide clues as to what is running in the background. They may even provide contact details of the web developer or administrator. Observe all the links and image tabs to map the file system structure. This will reveal the existence of hidden directories and files. Enter fake data to determine how the script works. It's sometimes possible to edit the source code. So this is an example of the source code. Then you can examine the cookies to determine the software running and its behavior. One can examine cookies set by the server. Identify the scripting platform by observing sessions and other supporting cookies. Information about cookie name, value, and domain size can also be extracted. If you look at the cookies, every web, uh, if you visit a website, it's like I was visiting a website and I was saying wants to deposit cookies on my browser. I was saying no, I reject it. So from that cookie, you can identify the software running and its behavior. You can identify the scripting platform also. Then you can use web spiders to do website footprinting. We have web data extractor and password, perform automated searches on the target website and collect specified information such as employee name. So if you are looking to collect employee name from or phone numbers or emails from the website, this web data extractor can help you to do. That's part of web spidering. It can help you to do that. Then, like I said before, you can mirror an entire website. Now, you want to copy a website. You don't want to be accessing that website online, but you want to go through the website, do what we call web mirroring, website mirroring, web mirroring, and copy the entire website and put it on your computer and be able to browse it offline. Yeah. Are we still going to get to make use of all this website during the practical aspects? Already we're in the practical aspect. I've started showing you some things. So what you will do is that when the recording is sent to you, when the recording is sent to you, hold on, please. When the recording is sent to you, you will start look through all those websites and start looking at it yourself. All those things I've shown you as I was and command line. But the ones that like Shodan.io and Senses are things you can access from your browser. So, but other tools there, maybe before next class, I would have put on the group how you are to download the Linux terminal that you will be using that has all those tools in there. That should answer your question, Kennedy. So for the ones reaction. I hope you can all hear me. Please, if you can hear me, just let me know because the network went off. Okay, Oyeyemi Akinloye, thank you. All right, so we're rounding up now for today. Okay, let me just
The rain go stop now, make they won't fall tonight. At least for 7.
Hello, apologies for the disruption. Network is raining here and network. So we'll just have to pause the class here and continue next week from where we have stopped. We'll continue from other techniques for website footprinting. Then I think I will talk about the Wayback Machine next week. So because the network is terrible now, heavy downpour. So by God's grace, tomorrow you should get the recording for the class so that you can go through it during the week and be able to